welcome to Fork Up Cargo Logistics, the leading handler of space cargo. As a part of our family of workers, you'll be handling precious cargo across the entire solar system, and when it comes time for docking, we know you'll fit right in. Before we begin, please ensure that all safety equipment, including gloves and hard hats, are worn at all times. It's our company policy that all workers use protection. Let's start by exploring our cockpit and seeing how it responds to our touches. To your right, you'll see buttons where the ship controls can be adjusted for your convenience. And once you're ready to clock in, you can start your shift with the Job Select button. In future, we hope for multiple workers to be able to fork together. Unfortunately, at this current time, docking between fellow workers is against corporate guidelines. The board is currently reviewing this matter. As such, workers will be informed of any updates. This concludes orientation. Please direct any questions or feedback to the suggestion box. Try gripping the joysticks and moving the controls. You should see the hologram of the ship move. If something doesn't feel right, try rebinding it to what feels natural. Note that by default, strafe up, down, and left and right is on the thumbstick of the left stick.
And we'll unlock them one by one. Okay, let's begin by applying some forward thrust. Good. Now reverse that thrust to bring yourself to a stop. Next, strafe to the right. Good. Now strafe to the... Okay, looks good. Now strafe upwards. Okay, now, straight. Translational axes check out. Let's try the rotation axes next. Start with a yaw to the right. Good. Now yaw to the left. Okay, now give us a right roll. And now, a left roll. Now pitch the nose up. Lastly, let's pitch the nose back. Good job. This concludes the ship system qualification. Use the switch on your right to head back to corporate.
Did you know that statistics indicate that 2 out of 5 Docker applicants provide us with false piloting credentials? On an unrelated note, we like to test all our new hires with a fun starting assignment. You should see a number of rings outside your cockpit. We want you to pilot the ship through each of them. But any hole is not a goal. You need to fly through them in order. The radar will show you which one is next. Remember, there is no resistance in space. Your momentum isn't going to slow down on its own. You're going to have to counter it. If you get confused, look at how the space dust outside the cockpit is moving. You can also use the velocity indicator, which shows the direction you are moving. As a last resort, pull the space brake. It will bring you to a near stop. But these are the basic laws of space movement. I'm sure, as a perfectly qualified pilot, you already knew all that. now walk you through a typical day shift. This is a crate's docking port, and above you is your docking port. A successful dock will look something like this. When you get close to a crate, the above display will turn on. Use the 3 indicator lights at the top of the cockpit and adjust the ship so that all 3 lights have turned green. If you do this, you'll have a successful dock. You can click the analog stick to switch into low sensitivity mode. This makes precise movement easier. The crate now has to be ejected into the area shown here. Once you've worked the ship into position, you'll really need to tug hard on the lever in the top right of the cockpit. Really yank it to eject the payload quickly and launch our crate home. However, you want to avoid any premature ejections. For instance, moving too fast or aimed off to one side. Don't worry if this happens. We all have messy incidents from time to time. Just make sure to clean up after yourself and try again.
Congratulations on your first docking. We've tagged the drop-off point on the radar. Head over to it now.
Sometimes, cargo may be sent flying away by a collision and even end up in a spin, making further docking attempts impossible. To force cargo out of a spin, each ship is equipped with our patented anti-spin limpets. These can be fired at cargo, and when they attach, they'll use retro rockets to slow the spin down. You want to do this until the RPM shows 0. Once the cargo is steady, we can recommence normal docking procedure. It's important at Forcup that all packages are handled with care. We strongly advise against any attempt of forceful or aggressive docking maneuvers, which could result in injury to our packages.
spinner. Eject it into the drop-off point like before.
At the end of each shift, you'll need to dock up at the drop-off ship, as shown here.